What's up with it, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Raider Honcho, and I'm back with a brand new video for you. If you're a fan of the Las Vegas Raiders and want to support this channel, please subscribe. Also, check out RaiderHoncho.com and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Both are at Raider Honcho. If you already subscribed to the channel, thank you. And if you want to become a member of either my Patreon or YouTube membership programs, please click the link in the descriptions. And before I get started, shout out to all my new haters that I have acquired. Man, I really appreciate y'all and thank you for doing your job because the shit was getting a little boring. Okay, now, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. I was told by a wise man one time accepting an award by the name of Sean Carter. Mr. Jay-Z himself said numbers don't lie. And the proof is in the pudding. I'm a firm believer that the numbers don't lie. You can say what you want, you can feel how you want, but when you look at the numbers, they tell the truth, okay? So, I am extremely excited that the Raiders have a packed house at OTAs this season. And I'm really excited because it seemed like not long ago, they did some type of team vote and they voted against doing voluntary workouts this summer. So it's kind of weird that we have all these players here. I think the numbers are actually 83 out of 89 players that we have on our active roster right now are at practice. And I think that's a great turnout. I think that shows me that they're taking this serious. They know that last year we stunk it up, especially in the second half. They know that we have a lot of moving pieces, and they know that we don't have the time to sit around and wait for you to be comfortable with getting better. You have to get better on our clock. You have to get better when we say it's time to get better. And when Gruden says it's time to go, it's time to go. Period. And I put a video out maybe last week about warning shots, people getting cut. I think that was John Gruden and Mayock sending a message to the team that, look, you better get in here and get your work in, or you're going to be working somewhere else. And I think that that's starting to show with these numbers. I mean, 83 out of 89 players showing up to voluntary OTAs. I mean, that's fantastic. We have a lot of players that got to get better. I love seeing Damon Arnett out there working. I love seeing Max being a little more healthy. I love seeing Derek Carr getting that work. I love Henry Ruggs out there. I love Kenyon Drake being out there. I mean, I love everybody out there. You know I love Trayvon Merrick being out there. Now, there are a few players that aren't there. And the notable players to me that aren't there is Josh Jacobs, Yannick isn't there, Quentin Jefferson isn't there, Diablo isn't there, and Isaiah Johnson isn't there. Diablo isn't even under contract yet, so I mean, it doesn't really matter. And I'm not concerned with Yannick and Jacobs not being there. That's not really an issue for me at all. Now, I do not have an issue, but I do take some type of... Nah, that's not an issue, okay? But I do question why Isaiah Johnson isn't there. Like, our DBs are probably the positions that are up for grabs the most, in my opinion, as far as, like, okay, Mullen and Arnett seem to be in there, but where does Casey Hayward play? Where does Rasul play? Where does Amik play? Where does Lawson, and where do these people play at, right? Like, we don't really know. So Isaiah Johnson was supposed to be in the mix as a starter, or at least playing starter minutes, right? Like in the slot, on the outside, maybe at safety. So for him not to be here at practice and us having a new defensive coordinator, new defensive back coaches, you would think that Isaiah Johnson would be one of the guys that's in there, especially since he was the prototypical Richard Sherman lookalike as far as, you know, everybody was giving him a Richard Sherman comp as far as when Gus Bradley took over. And it just doesn't make no sense for him not to be there. And it's kind of the same thing with Quentin Jefferson. Quentin Jefferson is who I have as our starting defensive tackle alongside with Jonathan Hankins. So I would love to see him get in the building and get his reps and get his work in. But none of these guys being there, not being there is an issue. Obviously, there's a voluntary. It's not mandatory. None of these guys are disgruntled or not happy with their situations. So I'm not really concerned with them not being there. I thought Isaiah Johnson would definitely want to get in there and get some work done, right? That's just what I would think. Like, if I had a new defensive coordinator, a new DB coach, I would want to get there as soon as possible. But who knows? They might have some situation worked out. But I love the fact that 83 players are there. That's a great turnout for this time of year, especially for a team that voted against doing it in the first place, right? And a couple of things that a couple of players are saying are standing out to me, but I just really want to focus on Jonathan Abram, right? I really want to focus on Jonathan Abram. I already did a lot of coverage on Jonathan Abram. He's one of my favorite players on defense. I think he's going to be a really good player. And he was talking about being in his new role with Gus Bradley, being the box safety. To me, we didn't really call it a box safety back in my day. We just called it a strong safety. Obviously, when you play two safeties high like the Raiders used to do last year and stuff like that, you have a free safety and a strong safety where the strong safety lines up on the strong side of the formation on defense. And in certain cases, on the younger levels, you'll have a strong side that'll have two wide receivers. You'll have another side that has one wide receiver. And usually, if there's no wide receiver on that side or just one wide receiver on a certain side, the strong safety will come down in the box and either cover on the tight end or cover one of the running backs coming out, right? Or if it's cover 3, he'll come down and he'll play flat. Curl the flat. So it's almost like, you know, he's talking about his new position. He says it's probably going to help him a little bit because it's more of a natural thing for him. And I do think it's more natural for him. He's a run around, knock your block off type of safety. He's not the safety you want to have in coverage or single high coverage at least. I think he would be fine in cover 4. I think he'd be fine in cover 2. I just think his strong point wasn't playing cover 3, being out there center field. I just don't think that's a good fit for him. But he said last year they played a lot of split safety, and you know, this is more of a natural fit for him, being able to run around, be close to the line of scrimmage, and you want players to feel comfortable where they're at, which is why I always have an issue with the Raiders taking players and converting them to different positions, right? And I think it's very important that Raider fans understand that. I know Jonathan Abram gets a bad rep for being like not smart. Look, this guy is not dumb. Like, I don't know why. Like, I know he has some antics and he dances around. He looks hella goofy. We know the whole salmon situation he had on Hard Knocks and all that stuff. Riding on horses with certain players, and we all know, like, he's a funny guy, charismatic guy, but some of y'all seem to think he's stupid or he's dumb or he lacks the mental capacity to be able to play in the National Football League at a high level. And I'm just telling you, you're dead wrong. This guy has the skills to pay the bills, and he has the smarts, okay? All he has to do is be healthy, and I think everything is going to be fine. So I really just want to get rid of that notion that he's not a smart player because he got beaten coverage or he looked lost at times. That can happen to young players. It can happen to old players. When you're playing at a high level, I mean, things happen, right? But I think we have to get rid of this whole idea that he's not smart. I think he's very smart. I think he's very intelligent, and I think he's going to have a great season. I think he's going to be one of our best players on defense, all right? So let me know what y'all think about what's coming out of OTA so far. Tell me what's your, what players have been standing out to you, what comments have been standing out to you. Just let me know what y'all think, man. I love having this dialogue with y'all, and I love hearing what you guys have to say, and I love hearing your opinions. So if you like the video, like the video. If you like the content on this channel, subscribe to the channel. If you want to become a member on either my YouTube program or my Patreon, where we're giving away a lot of free stuff every month. We're doing giveaways. The first giveaway will be Raider tickets. I have Raider tickets to the Las Vegas versus Los Angeles Chargers game. So yeah, get down with that, man. So until the next time, Raider Honcho out.